Prepare for Nerdgasm.
Hey, what's up, Nerdgasm fans? Jerry here, aka Barnacules. Yesterday, I did a video on how to attach an iPad to your Oboto Revolution, or pretty much any other racing cockpit, so that you can use the iHud application in iRacing in games like rFactor and Live for Speed to give you digital readout on your gauge. Like over here, I have my speedometer, my tachometer, my coolant, my oil temperature, my lap times, all that stuff's up on this display. Well, a lot of people commented and said, you shouldn't put all your dials over there because how the hell are you going to be able to see? It's distracting, you know? So the stuff that I should put on this screen is stuff that I want to look at in the pit or on the straightaways. For my RPM and speedometer, I was thinking I needed something front and center, but the iPad's too tall. If I put the iPad right here, I'm not going to be able to see the screen. It's going to obstruct my view. So instead, today I grabbed my iPhone 5. And I realized that when I bought the app for the iPad, I automatically got the app for the phone for free. It just showed up on my phone. So I was like, oh, I wonder if you can connect them both at the same time. What do you know? You can. So here's my RPM in perfect sync with the iPad. Hopefully you guys can see that in the video. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take some scrap plastic that I had, some hot glue, and some 3M double stick tape, and I'm going to fashion a bracket that holds my phone right here with rubber bands. I'll put the camera in my point of view so you guys can see it here in a minute. But now, with my seating position, my RPM gauge is dead center. Right through the steering wheel, so I can see it perfectly as I'm driving, which is what you want. So it's actually very similar to what you already have in iRacing. So let's go ahead and cobble something together. Alright guys, for my purpose I have a scrap piece of plastic that I used back when I built car PCs to build the cases. Just plastic. You can pretty much pick it up at any hobby store, or you can just cannibalize a project that you already have. Now for the T500RS it's going to be really simple because I need the phone down as far to the steering column as possible, so I'm basically just going to make a square, then notch the edges to hold rubber bands so that the phone's suspended by rubber bands. That way I don't have to stick anything on the case. But you could just as easily modify an iPhone 5 or iPhone 4 case to do this. So first I'm going to just set my phone down right here, and I'm just going to outline it. It can be a rough outline. Plastic's really easy to take material away from. Okay, so that's a rough shape of my phone. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down to the garage and cut this piece out. I'm not going to lug the whole camera down there, but you guys will see the finished product when it's done. And then I'm going to put notches, because I don't want to obstruct the screen. I want to figure out where the best place to put notches are. So I'm going to say right about there for the first notch, and there, maybe in a little bit more than that, for the second notch. Alright, cool. I'm going to go cut this out. Alright guys, so here's the finished product. It took me about 5 minutes to do. You saw how I outlined the phone. I took it down to my garage. I stole a blade off my hacksaw, put it in a vise, cut out the basic shape, and then I used a triangle file to cut the divots in the sides here, you can see. You could easily do this with anything you can find around your shop. It's not hard, even if you don't have the plastic piece. I mean, cannibalize an old kid's toy or something if you need to, just to get a little piece of plastic. You could probably even do this with cardboard if you had some heavy cardboard, but I figured I just wanted to do it with some really hard plastic. So now what I'm going to do is I stole some rubber bands from my wife because they were black and I didn't want to use the beige ones. Hopefully she doesn't mind them missing. But basically these just go around these little holes here, like so. Double it up. Okay, there's one. You can tell I don't braid hair for a living. And there's two. So now you can see the rubber bands there. So now, let me get my phone out. You can see the basic shape of the phone. So now all I have to do is I'm going to attach this onto the simulator using 3M double stick body panel tape. Don't use cheap double stick tape, or use hot glue if you don't mind your wheel just having some hot glue. You want this thing mounted securely, because while you're reefing that wheel around, you don't want the phone to fall down into the wheel while you're making a sharp turn. You might bust it. So don't skimp on that. But I'm going to use the 3M tape to hold it on there. And then once it's on there, all I'll have to do is put my phone into the rubber bands, like so. And just so you guys know, I didn't try any of this ahead of time. This is all first attempt stuff. You guys know I don't do a lot of retakes on my channel. So, and there you have it. Held on by the back plate by rubber bands. So now, I can power it on. You can still see the full screen. Let me bring up my gauges. And there's my gauge. And you can see my screen is in no way obstructed. The rubber bands are outside of the screen diameter. And now that'll be right on my steering wheel. So let's go ahead and get that 3M double stick tape on the wheel, mount this, and show you what the final product looks like. And I went ahead and applied the strip across the top. You want to let it sit for about a minute before you pull the tape off and stick the other side, just so it gets good adhesion. And also clean the surfaces with alcohol if you have it. And I trimmed the top edge to match the contour of the wheel, just so you didn't have a bunch of tape sticking up the back. Alright, so now I'm going to peel the other side and attach the phone. Alright, there you have it, guys. There's my RPM meter I have set up there, and all my other gauges on the iPad. So this is approximately where my head is in the cockpit when I'm driving, so you guys can kind of get an idea. And now I've got all my gauges in view, and all three of my big screens. So hope you guys enjoyed this mod. It's very, very easy to do, especially with the T500RS, because you just need a square. And you can see back here, let me see if I can brighten it up. The sticky tape is hardly visible. It's on the back side. Both rubber bands have enough space because of the sticky tape to wrap around into the grooves. And now the phone can be easily positioned and easily removed. See? Alright, so I got my application. I just turned on the phone. I'm going to go ahead and connect it. Okay, there we're connected. Go ahead and put it into the cradle. Very easy to do. Alright, let's do a little driving. Turn up the volume. You can see my RPM meter is working on both screens. Let's put it into first. I got my gear change on both too. You can configure the gauges however you want them on each device also. I am noticing a slight problem with reception on the phone. It keeps losing the wireless network. Now, I have a pretty weak wireless network upstairs, so that's not surprising. But here, let's just try rotating the phone around to put the antenna in the new orientation. Simple solutions, guys. Simple solutions. Actually, that's the preferred mounting way anyways. Hopefully it works better because that puts the volume controls on top. Okay. Make that nice and big. Okay, connect. Okay, I'm connected. That seems to be working better. Third gear. Fourth gear. Haven't played iRacing for a little while, so I need to adjust the graphics settings also. So there we go, doing 120. Okay, on the brakes. Whoa. The gauge is actually working really, really good. I can just gaze down and see what gear I'm in. So far that's working really good. It's very, very stable. Screen doesn't move at all. This one moves a little bit because it has an articulating arm on it, but this one's fixed to the steering wheel, so it's solid. Oop, going off the road here. Okay, slam on the brakes, come to a stop, put it in first. Okay, let's try adding another gauge. So let's say we want to add a bigger gear. There we go. See, no, I don't want to clear it. Okay, so let's say now we want the gear to take priority. Make it really big. And now we've got just a gear change indicator. So now we're in first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. And again, these apps work with rFactor. Well, you have to buy a different app, but it's the same type of app for rFactor and Live for Speed. So as you guys can see, it's working great. The gauges are real time. I can put as many gauges as I want on the little phone. I can put as many gauges as I want on there, and I can just leave the screen just to display, you know, all the racing glory. So my goal is, and if you guys know how to do this, please leave it in the comments. I want to disable the entire cockpit. I don't want to see the cockpit at all. All I want to see is like I'm looking out the driving window, but have the seating position right so that I still feel right where the wheels pivot, and have the same field of view. But I don't want to see the wheel. I don't want to see the gauges or anything. I just want these gauges. So if you guys know how to make that happen, please comment and let me know. So guys, I hope this video gave you a nerdgasm. I've been doing quite a few racing sim videos because I know my sim fans out there have been getting on me a little bit saying that I've been neglecting them. But here you go. We pulled out the Obodo, and just in the last 2 days, now we've got an iPad mount with iHud. We have an iPhone mount that you can make for pennies that holds your iPhone 4 or 5 or 3 or Android device. This will work with Android also if you have an Android phone and an Android tablet. All the same stuff works from both videos. So guys, strap this stuff on your simulator. It's cheap. You don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on extra gauges and specialized stuff. And this is way more configurable than anything I've seen out there. I've seen other guys that have had the HUD displays that you plug in that you have to have special software to run that shows certain gauges and certain dashboards. None of them seemed like they were this configurable, and none of the screens on them were this high resolution. I mean, this is Retina. This is Retina, so I mean, it's about as clear and bright as you could possibly want. So anyways, guys, hope this gave you a nerdgasm. Please like, favorite, and subscribe. Check out my many other videos. I upload tons of videos every week. And please share my videos with your friends. I'm trying to grow my channel. And come over to Facebook. Come like my page on Facebook. The link is right on my main page, along with Reddit and Twitter and a bunch of other places. I love communicating with you guys offline over on those social networks in between videos. So I look forward to seeing you guys all. Until next time. Pretty cool, huh?